So guys, welcome to my channel, and our today's topic is routing. So let us just talk about routing first. So we have three types of routing, starting from static routing, default routing, and the dynamic routing, right? So when we talk about the static routing, basically static routing has to be configured by the network administrator, that has to be configured manually, right? And when we talk about this default routing, so default routing is all about like when we want to connect to the internet, right? So we don't know about the destination address, so in those cases we do the default routing. And the third type of routing is dynamic routing. So when we talk about dynamic routing, in dynamic routing we are having two kind of routing protocol. One is IGP, that is known as interior gateway protocol, and the other one is EGP, exterior gateway protocol, right? So today we are just going to discuss about this IGP, interior gateway protocol. In interior gateway protocol we are having RIP version 2, EIGRP, OSPF. All these are routing protocol which we use for routing purpose. So when we talk about RIP stands for routing information protocol, right? So we are just going to discuss this today. So let me just open my packet tracer, and then we will see how we configure the routing protocol, that is RIP, that we are just going to see it in detail. And let me just tell you one more thing. Today we are just going to discuss about RIP, and as I told you in the beginning, we are having RIP version 2 also. So I will be trying to create that video today itself, and I will try to upload it by end of today, right? In the further lectures we will be discussing about this EIGRP, OSPF, right? These are also the routing protocol. So let us just start with this RIP only. So to perform this RIP operation, so let me just take two routers. So I am just going to take two routers of 2811 series, right? So these are the two routers I have taken here, and let me just take two switches also, which is going to connect the end devices, and I will be taking two PCs here. All right. Similarly, I am just going to place two PC here for a different network also, and let me just connect this automatic cable for the communication. Right. Same thing I am going to do it here also. And I am just going to connect my routers also. Right. So this is the diagram basically. Now what we are going to do, we are just going to take two different networks here. Let's say this network belongs to class C address, right? And I'm going to take one more network. This I'm going to take it as, let's say, 172.16.1.1, right? This is class B network, and here I am going to take one network which will connect my router, let's say 20.0.0.1, and other side I will take it as 20.0.0.2. I hope this is clear to you. So guys, if you have any doubt, so you can just put down in the chat. So I will be just answering your queries also if you have any. So this is the diagram, and let me just put the IP address for my end devices also. Let's say I am just going to assign IP address as 1.2 for my this device, and I am just going to take 1.3 for my other device. So let me just drag and drop this so that I can use the same. So here I am just going to take 172.16.1.2 and here I am going to take it as 1.3. So I hope this diagram is very much clear to you, right? So let me just assign the IP to my end device, then we will move to the router configuration. 192.168.1.2 and here I am just going to put 192.168.1.1 as a gateway, which we are just going to assign to my router on interface FA0/0. So that will act as a gateway, because we are just going to do the communication between two different networks. So as you guys know, we need to have one gateway which will route the traffic to the other network, right? Let me just do this for this device also. So this is done. Let me just come to this network also. 1.2. So this will act as a gateway for my second network also. As you can see this on FA0/0 here, I will be assigning the IP to my router interface. So this is 2.1.2 and here I am going to take 172.16.1.3, 172.16.1.1, right? So this is class B address. I will be creating a separate lecture for this IP addressing also, in which we are just going to discuss about class A, class B, class C, and we are also going to discuss about the subnetting part in my coming lecture. All right. So we have assigned the IP address to my devices. Now let us go to this router configuration. So let me just make this router as router 1, right? So this is router 1 and I am going to take this as router 2. This is router 2. Router 2. Right. So I'll go to this. I'll go to the CLI command. Okay, enable this. Configure terminal, host name, router 1, right? Now we have to assign the IP address to my interfaces. So we are having two interfaces here. First is FA0/1 and the other one is FA0/0, where we have to assign the IP address as 192.168.1.1. So let me just configure this FA0/0 first, right? IP address 192.168.1.1 and we are just have to assign the subnet mask also for this class C, and I will say no shut to make it up. Similarly, I am just going to my other interface, that is interface FA0/1, IP address 20.0.0.1 255.0.0.0. Here we are taking 255.0.0.0 because this is class A address, and I am going to make it up by this command. So let's write the configuration. So I have written the configuration here. So now let me just go to my second router. So as you can see this in the second router also I am having two different interfaces also. So let me just configure this also, configure terminal, and let me just configure my FA0/0 interface FA0/0, and here I am going to assign the IP address similar to that which we have done in my router 1, 172.16.1.1, and the subnet mask for my class B. Right, I'm just going to make it up, no shit. Right, similarly we have to assign the IP address to my other interface, that is FA0/1/1, then IP address 20.0.0.2, and we have to assign the subnet mask also like this, right, and we'll have to make it no shit. Now both the routers are in the upstate now, right? So let me just save the configuration. So my configurations are also saved, right? So if I'll try to ping from my router 1 to router 2, so we will not be having the communication between two networks. So let me just show you now. So what I'm trying to do, I'm just trying to ping my this network 172.16.1.2, right, from this device. Ping. Let me just show the IP address also. So we can see the IP address of that device by typing this command ipconfig. So I'm at present I'm sitting on this PC and I'm trying to ping this PC. So as you can see that, like what it is saying is, it is saying destination host unreachable, because the router is not having information about that network. So that is what it is unable to reach to that destination, right? So what we are just going to do today, we are just going to do the routing with the help of this RIP, right? So RIP is a very simple protocol, right? So what we need to do in case of this RIP, we only need to advertise our networks, like whatever networks we have, right, that we need to advertise on both the sides, right? So let's discuss it further. So we are on router 1, and as you can see, this router is having two interfaces, FA0/1 and FA0/0, right? So on FA0/0 we have this network 192.168.1.0, and FA0/1 we have this 20.0.0.0, right? So this is the IP basically. If when we talk about the network, so we will take it as 20.0.0.0, right? Similar to that, if we go to the router 2, so in router 2 we are having two different network. One is 172.16.1.0, because that would be the network ID, and on my FA0/1 we have this 20.0.0.0. So as I told you, we just need to advertise our network only, right? So we are just going to this router 1 first, right? Here we have to type like this, router rip, and we have to advertise our network, right? So how can we do that? We can do the advertisement with the help of this network command, network 192.168.1.0, right? As I told you, we are having two networks. One is 192.168.1.0, so that's what I have done this here. Similarly, I am just going to advertise this also, 20.0.0.0 network 20.0.0.0, right? So advertisement is done here. So let me just save the configuration also. So configuration is saved. Now let me just go to my other router, that is router 2. Let me just rename this also, host name, right? This is router 2. Now we are going to do the same thing. We are just going to advertise our network here on the router 2 also. So we are going to do the same thing here also, router rip network. So we are advertising with the help of this network command, network 172.16.1.0. Same thing we are going to do for the other interface also, 20.0.0.0, right? So I have advertised my network on both the sides. and I have saved the configuration also, right. So let me just show you the routing table. So how can we can see this? Do show see this. So what it is saying is we are having a network of 20, we are also having a network of 172.16.0.0, these are directly connected, and we are performing this RIP for this 192.168.1.0 for this, as you can see this. So let me just take you to the router 1 also, there we will be able to see this network RIP for 172.16.1.0. let me just show that also. Do show IP route, right. As you can see this is directly connected 20 and 192.168.1.0, as you can see this here, these are directly connected, 20 is directly connected and 192.168.1 is also directly connected. So as I told you, like we have enabled the routing, we have made use of this RIP. So you can see the RIP entry here, R stand for RIP. So we have set the route for this network with the help of RIP. So let us just try to ping from my router 1 to router 2 and then we will see. I am just going to ping my other network. Let us see. So guys, as you can see that we are able to get the reply. Earlier we were not able to get the reply and we were getting this destination host unreachable. So it was only because this particular router was not having information about my second network and the vice versa. Router 2 was not having information about my first network. So we have configured the RIP. So with the help of this RIP, we have done the advertisement of whatever routes we have, right. So this is how we do the RIP, right. So I will be creating a separate video for this RIP version 2 and I will be trying to create that video today itself only. So once it is done, so I will be uploading soon. So thank you for watching my video, and if you guys have any doubt related to whatever topics we have covered in the past, just put me down in the comment. I'll be answering your queries. So thank you once again and have a nice day.